I read you and clear. Which word completes that sentence? I read you and clear. And really, I want you to focus on the last part of the sentence, and clear, because that is a binomial pair, which is what we're going to talk about in today's lesson. So I hope that after just listening to me say this, that you know that the answer is loud. I read you loud and clear. So loud and clear is a phrase that means that something is easy to understand and follow. So instead of telling somebody, yes, I understand what you're saying, you could say, hey, I read you loud and clear. I understand exactly what you're talking about. So binomial pairs are very common in spoken English. These are informal phrases that have two words that are connected by a conjunction. And the conjunction is often and or, but not always. And these phrases are typically fixed as well. You're not going to change around the word order very often. So as I mentioned, these words are very common in just casual conversation like this next one right here. First and I want you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And yes, this is something that I would love it if you would do that. First and So this is another binomial pair, and the answer is foremost, first and foremost. So it's really an introductory phrase that you may hear somebody use this if they're giving a presentation, and what it means is most importantly. So I could say most importantly, or first and foremost, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that I can become your teacher. My name is Wes, and that's what Interactive English is all about, just trying to help you practice and improve your English skills. And today, I want to help you build your vocabulary with some of these binomial pairs. The next one that I have for you, I just want to relax and calm down. I really need some and quiet. Okay, how would you complete that sentence? And quiet. This, I think, is a pretty well-known binomial pair, and I'm guessing you probably knew the answer, which is peace. Peace and quiet. I just want to relax and calm down. I really need some peace and quiet. Peace and quiet means that you just need freedom from just noise or activity and just kind of want to get away from a lot of things that are loud and stressful, and you want some peace and quiet. Here is the next one. I really enjoy the and bustle of big cities. I really enjoy the and bustle of big cities. Think about a big city. It's very active, it's loud, and the answer is hustle. Hustle and bustle. I really enjoy the hustle and bustle of big cities. So if you're talking about the hustle and bustle, it refers to a lot of activity, usually in a noisy surrounding, the hustle and bustle. It's kind of the opposite of peace and quiet. And then I have a question for you. How old do you think I am, give or Okay, how old do you think I am, give or So the last part is the binomial pair, give or And this is a pretty common phrase. I hope that you said the answer is take. Give or take. Give or take, you would use this when you're talking about numbers, like in this case, my age, and all it means is approximately. How old do you think I am, give or take? And if you have any guesses, you can let me know down below in the comments. And if you really want to know how old I am, I will tell you in person, but you just need to join my speaking course. And yes, that is a sneaky little segue into letting you know that you can sign up for my speaking course if you are someone who would like to practice and improve their speaking skills. Just click on the link down in the description if you'd like to join. And when you click on that link, there is a special discount just for you. So the course is all about helping you speak confidently, speak clearly, and speak naturally. To help you speak confidently each week, there are different speaking topics. We do engaging speaking activities. I'll help you build your vocabulary. And all of this is just to give you more confidence when you're having a conversation. To help you speak clearly, each lesson we warm up with pronunciation, connected speech. There are also pronunciation video lessons. And not only is this going to help you speak clearly, but I also think it's great for your listening comprehension. And when it comes to speaking naturally, we'll talk about some of the language nuances, when to use certain words and phrases, practice using idioms, as well as look at different ways that you can express a variety of ideas. So just click on the link down in the description if you'd like to sign up and improve your speaking fluency, and I just hope to speak to you soon. Now, let's get back to our binomial pair quiz, which I'm sure you've gotten all of them correct so far. And I want to change things up a little bit. This time I am going to give you the meaning, and I want you to tell me, well, what binomial pair am I talking about? And to give you a little bit of a hint, I am going to give you the first letter, all right, of each of the two words in the phrase. And I'm just going to give you 5 seconds to think of the answer, and then I will tell you. So this one right here, it refers to the advantages and disadvantages of something. What is this phrase? I hope that you said pros and cons. This is actually a pretty common binomial pair. I imagine you've heard of it before, and you're talking about, well, like the pros and cons, maybe when you're trying to make a decision, and you're referring to those advantages and disadvantages. And yes, I think often we use this when you're trying to make a difficult decision, and you're like, let's write down the pros and cons so that we can make a good decision. The next one refers to moving in one direction and then moving in the other direction. What phrase am I talking about? And hopefully that when I said moving in one direction and then the other direction, you thought of back and forth. So I actually used this phrase yesterday. I made a decision, and then I changed my mind, and then I kept going back and forth because I couldn't make a final decision. So it does not always have to refer to actually moving in one direction or the other. As I just mentioned, you could use it when talking about, well, changing your mind, and you keep going back and forth and back and forth. I can be rather indecisive, so I tend to go back and forth. The next one, when you entertain someone, typically taking them out to a fine meal. What are you doing? So the answer is wine and dine. When you wine and dine someone, you are taking them out, trying to entertain them, and generally you're taking them to a nice restaurant, but it doesn't have to be. You're really just trying to show them a good evening, and you're trying to wine and dine someone. Then we have this next phrase, damage or depreciation resulting from ordinary use. And the answer is wear and tear. So if you're talking about just using something, just ordinary use, then over time there's going to be a little bit of wear and tear. And typically you would use this talking about like some item that's used. So you might have some furniture that has some wear and tear. Or maybe you're trying to sell something like a bicycle, and you tell them, yeah, the bicycle has some minor wear and tear, but it's in good condition. And then there's this binomial pair having no legal force or validity. What do you think? So the answer is null and void. This is a phrase that you might hear people use when they're talking about some kind of agreement, perhaps a contract, and they say, look, it has no legal force whatsoever. It's null and void. Now I want to switch things up again because just to show you how common these phrases are, I'm going to give you some examples of binomial pairs being used in movies, music, and TV shows. And I just want you to guess the binomial pair. So, well, before I show you these first videos, I want you to think about, well, the tone in which these people are speaking and how they feel, all right? Trying to give you a little bit of a hint. Here we go.
Of it.
I have nobody.
I'm seeing injustices.
I'm of it. I'm of having nobody. I'm of seeing injustices. So I told you to keep in mind like the tone and feeling because these people were clearly upset. And the missing binomial pair is sick and tired. You're sick and tired of something.
I'm sick and tired of it.
I'm sick and tired of having nobody.
I'm sick and tired of seeing injustices.
This means that you are extremely annoyed with someone or some situation and you just cannot tolerate it anymore. And you're going to follow this binomial pair with the preposition of. You're sick and tired of someone or you're sick and tired of something. And then in 1971, the Grassroots came out with this very popular song that uses the binomial pair, well, a lot in the song. And I can't play you the song because of copyright, so I'm going to hum it as well as sing it, and I apologize for my singing. Love is gonna get ya. Girl, you gotta give in. Love is gonna let ya. Love is gonna win. Okay, I apologize for my singing. I told you, if anything, it would just make things more challenging to have to listen to that. But the missing binomial pair is sooner or later. Sooner or later, love is gonna get ya. So like I said, this is a popular song, one that you would still hear today. You would hear it in TV shows and movies. And sooner or later, it means that something is definitely going to happen. You're just not exactly sure when it's going to happen. And you could use this binomial pair sooner or later. And then I have another set of videos for you. So see if you can identify the missing binomial pair.
Dr. Abel, over the last 30 years, Urchicon has grown by...
You are just progressing by...
His insubordination is growing by...
So for this one, the key word is by, has grown by, is progressing by, is growing by. And the answer is leaps and bounds.
Dr. Abel, over the last 30 years, Urchicon has grown by leaps and bounds.
You are just progressing by leaps and bounds.
His insubordination is growing by leaps and bounds.
And really, you're going to use by before saying leaps and bounds. By leaps and bounds. It just means that something is, well, growing very fast and very quickly. And I could say that I hope that your vocabulary is growing by leaps and bounds when you watch these video lessons. I have another song for you because in 1981, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts came out with this hit song, I Love It's just not the same when you cut it off like that. So I love so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love So come and take your time and dance with me. So it's a very famous and well-known song. And the phrase that's missing is rock and roll. I love rock and roll. Now, in the song, they're talking about rock and roll like the music genre. Using this as a binomial pair, the meaning is different, okay? It's still, you're saying rock and roll, but it was a creative way of introducing this. So rock and roll is a music genre, but you can use it as a binomial pair to mean, well, let's start something, let's begin. So if somebody were to say, hey, let's rock and roll, what they're really saying is, well, let's begin, let's start. And they're typically excited to start this thing. Let's rock and roll. And here are a few more videos for you.
It is over. I won.
Congratulations, you won.
Congratulations, you won.
Notice that they're talking about some type of competition. They said, congratulations, you won. And perhaps they're telling the other person that they won honestly and fairly, which is a big hint because fair is part of this binomial pair. Fair and square, that is the answer. Congratulations, you won fair and square.
It is over. I won fair and square.
Congratulations, you won fair and square.
Congratulations, you won fair and square.
And if you tell someone that they won fair and square, you're just saying that they won honestly and according to the rules. So to get a little review, I could tell you I hope that you enjoyed taking the quiz and that you did not go ahead and look up all the answers beforehand. I hope that you played fair and square. And I'm sure that right now, perhaps you're going back and forth between watching another video lesson or clicking on the link to sign up for my speaking course. But I would say that, well, you don't have to go back and forth. You can do both. And if you do both, then your English skills will improve by leaps and bounds. And if this lesson, if it was easy to understand and follow, just let me know. You can write to me in the comments and say loud and clear, because that'll tell me that it was easy for you to understand these different phrases and their meaning. And I'm sure right now you're probably sick and tired of my rambling, and that's why I am going to just wrap things up and ask you once again to hit that like button if you enjoyed the lesson, and tell you thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.